Welcome to the last episode of 2023 Beers and Budgeting, where we're going over our real income and expenses. Stick around in this video. Hey guys, it's Justine, your host of the Debt-Free Millennials channel. Here we talk about all things and all ways to achieve financial confidence, crush debt that leads to more fun and fewer payments. And this is my husband, Kyle.
So.
And we are going to go over December's monthly budget. This one is a big one. It's a big month for a lot of people who do a lot of holiday shopping, traveling, food. We're going to get into it, but first, beer.
So, today's beer is a local beer.
Got it.
Focus. All right. It is from El Segundo Brewery called Mayberry IPA, just right down the road from us. It's a great, delicious beer. I've had it a couple times. And it's just, I don't know, it was in the fridge. There's no real rhyme or reason. It's in the fridge.
It's in the fridge. So. We're going to watch some football today.
Nope.
Playoff season. Here we go. We did that quietly because we have a napping toddler. Tastes like California. It does.
I think a lot of people would not describe, if someone was like, what does California taste like? I don't think people would be like an IPA. I think they would say a lot of other things.
Oh, well, if there was a beer flavor for California, it'd be an IPA.
Yeah.
If there was a beer flavor for Kansas City, it would be a wheat. Let's get into the budget, shall we?
Let's do it. All right. So we brought in $16,372. We had expenses of $9,800. And savings of $820, leaving us left over with $5,700. That's way better than I thought. What is happening here?
What happened? You got reimbursed for some work expenses, travel expenses.
Yeah.
And what else? Did you any overtime?
Maybe.
Did you have 1, 2, 3, 4?
How many weeks were in December?
4. You got paid 4 times because Kyle gets paid weekly. I think you just had like 2 big paychecks.
I mean, there's 5 Fridays.
Yeah, I think you just got paid out for some work expenses that you had from November.
I did travel a lot in November, so.
Yeah.
Okay,
so let's go over our fixed expenses. Rent and daycare always being our number one biggest expenses. I put the daycare expense as orange because we paid for a nanny before Christmas break. We had like 2 days of like Quinn being off from regular daycare, but we still needed to pack because we were going home for 9 days, and we needed to really just have that moment of we got to wrap up work, we got to get our bags packed. And so we had a nanny in the neighborhood watch her and another little girl. It worked out perfectly. So we did end up paying a little bit extra on top of our daycare expense. Don't even get me started because she was off 2 weeks from school and we still had to pay for a full month of daycare. So fun.
Yeah.
So fun. But I'll move on because you don't want to get me started on that soapbox.
Are you the one who's going on the soapbox?
I was about to.
Wow, it's usually my job.
Groceries, we did great, but that's because we traveled. And so we went home and we weren't spending money on food. So $538 spent on food for the month out of a $750 budget. Electricity was just a little bit over. It's been around $130 to $150. I don't understand why we don't run our heat, we don't run our air. We do have a terrible dishwasher that takes like an hour and a half to run.
It's wild.
We don't know how to make the cycle shorter, so.
Are we running our hot water heater? Maybe it's just like extra cold, so it's taking longer for the water to get warmed up, but I don't think that would make that big of a difference.
I don't know. Car expenses, I actually spent money on this in December. I did a $78 oil change with a local mechanic. He specializes in Subarus, which I love. And then I got us a car wash after that. So
cool. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah. And then you had some work expenses for December as well, $579 in work expenses. And we talked about this a little bit last month. Kyle puts his work expenses on our personal card so that we can get the points. And then we take those credit card points and we travel to really fun places. We book hotels. We stayed in Caesar's Palace for free because we used our Chase points for it. So really amazing. let's go down to fun. We were under budget for restaurants, which is great. And we spent some money in the Fun Money LA bucket list category. So we went to Disneyland. My best friend, Lauren, came out, and she's a Disney queen. She knows the ins and outs of the park. She has the app, she has FastPass, she has all of the hookups to get us through, and she's definitely a Disney planner. She is the one that's like, all right, what do we want to hit up first? Food, do we want to get all the good stuff? So it was so much fun. This is the third time we've taken Quinn to Disneyland since living in LA, and I would say 3 times in a span of almost 18 months. That's a good deal for me. I love it. And then I took her to Disney on Ice.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Yes. Disney on Ice.
Disney on Ice.
She was hooked.
Yeah. My neighbor and her daughter and me and Quinn, we went back to Anaheim to do Disney on Ice. Quinn was obsessed. Money well spent. She loved it. Shopping, we were under budget there.
Which is like, it's the month of December, and on shopping, shopping's for us. The gifts category is coming up. Hold your tongue, Kyle.
Yep. Oh, and you know what else I did? I know it says $100 for clothing for both you and me, and I upped that from last month because we really depleted it from, you kind of restocked on some shirts, and there's a whole bunch of clothing money that we spent in November, I feel like. So I made sure that we had a $100 allowance, and then it actually says $150 because we got Christmas gift money. I got 50, you got 50, and then Quinn got 20. So you'll see that reflected here in the actual. So I recorded the gift money as income, and then I divvied it out according to what we actually got. So 50-50, and then Quinn got 20, and so I included that there. And then you'll see the gifts spending was redonkulous, $1,200 for Christmas gift spending.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of money. Also, I feel like we weren't buying, like, I could talk myself into either way. Like, the cost of stuff has gone up, for sure.
Yeah.
And I also think I went crazier on, like, Christmas gifts for Quinn. When you have a kid, it's just so easy to spend money on toys.
I know.
They really don't need a whole bunch of toys.
The amount of toys we have that she hasn't played with in months is mind-blowing.
Yeah, so $1,200 there, which I'm so happy that we had a sinking fund set up for that, where we were setting aside money every single month into a separate account and then pulling that money out when we were ready to spend it.
Yeah, so we weren't blindsided by $1,200 at the end of the year in December. So
some subscriptions came through. Calm app, Netflix, Southwest Rapid Rewards credit card came through as well, which I feel like we've been underutilizing the Rapid Rewards credit card.
Yeah, fiasco last year with Southwest it was like around the Christmas time.
Yeah.
That they grounded a bunch of their airplanes, and since then we haven't really bought back in.
Underwear for Quinn. Nice. Did we mention she's potty training? It's going great. It's going great, guys. Okay, and I don't mean that sarcastically. I really do mean it. It is going well. Okay, future. Let's talk about future. I still keep forgetting to update the vacation fund automatic contributions, but I guess it doesn't matter because we spent $400 when we went home, and then we have about $5,000 set aside in the vacation fund now.
Wait, is our down payment really that big?
Oh yeah, I skipped.
Yeah, I skipped over
right
the highlight.
Right over it. So we have $189,000 saved for our down payment on our first home. We're also earmarking part of this $189 for things like closing costs, potential moving expenses, and home upgrades. Quinn's college fund also went up. I was pleasantly surprised, over $8,000. And then the rest of these are our small and like outside investing things. And then I also updated all of my IRAs, which all went up significantly. My SEPA IRA is up like $9,000, which is awesome.
Cool. Do you want any of my stuff, or?
Yeah.
How about we just do Robinhood?
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 346,000. Ha. Just kidding.
I was like, what?
No. $22,272.33.
Nice. Okay, that went up.
What were you thinking of doing?
I don't know. I was kind of toying with the idea of pulling out money from either Betterment or Robinhood. I can't remember it off the top of my head. The app went to the cloud. If I don't use an app for a long time, then it'll like delete from my phone and then I got to re-download it. So it's not remembering my password to Robinhood.
Apple problem to me.
I was thinking about taking money from either Robinhood or Betterment, or potentially both, and using it towards like our down payment, not necessarily down payment, but something towards our new home.
Yeah, it's our backup to our, like if we need to feel, if it's like, okay, if you put so much extra dollars towards, you can buy down some percentage points on your interest rate, then we would pull that out of this or the car fund or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So it's like, we can get a cheaper car and as we get the interest rates down on a new house more, like there's other places we can pull money out that I'm not too worried about.
Yeah. So I was kind of toying with that idea. For the new year, daycare costs are going up by $80 a month.
Fun.
So fun. So we need to reflect that in our 2024 budget. And then also we have extra cash that we can move towards things like the new home purchase.
I think we just, because for a move and a new home and like all that kind of stuff, I think we just take it all, just put it in the down payment fund because we've earmarked that for so many different things. Let's just throw it in there and then see where it falls. Because I feel like something here in the next, I don't know, year, maybe less is going to happen and we'll just use that for a bunch of different things.
Yeah. So many people, well, not so many people, a few comments from the last Beers and Budgeting episode was like, what's going on? You guys like talk about how expensive your stuff is. Why haven't you left California yet? Why are we still talking about the same stuff every single month?
Well, we're asking ourselves the same thing.
There are some outside factors that are not so in our control.
Yep.
That we have to wait on in order to make that move. Do you want to explain anything else to that?
Nope.
So,
I'm a man of many words today.
Okay, when you have careers and jobs and things like that, you have to really think about that when you're thinking of making an out-of-state move, right? Yes. And so while we're working on that, we do our best to control what we can control inside of our budget. So that's why we continue to move money, set it aside, kind of a wait and see approach. I know it's super frustrating. It's annoying to us too. And we're trying to be as patient as I'm trying to be as patient as possible in order to make this happen. So I think 2024 is still going to be a really good year for us.
Isn't every year? I mean, look at our budget. It's great. Every year's a good freaking year for us.
Yeah. I'm very thankful that we do this together. And I don't even want to get into that conversation or that speech because I generally save those speeches for the year-end review video, which will be coming up very, very soon. So be sure you catch that.
Yay.
I think that's a wrap for 2023, at least the December budget. And then stick around and make sure you're subscribed to the channel so that you catch that 2023 year-end review where we go through the entire year's expenses. You're going to be like mind freaking blown on how much we've spent on some categories, but it'll be really fun and hopefully informative for you to make better, smarter financial decisions for the new year. And we'll catch you in the next video. Bye.
See ya. My mustache says hello too.